Good day, everyone. We are the researchers, and today we will present our study entitled Assessing the Student Mental Health Support Services and Needs at Santa Ines National High School. I am John Lawrence S. Arenas.
I am Ashigil Viloria.
Now let us proceed to our introduction. So, mental health is an important part of students' well being because it affects how they think, feel, and perform in school. According to the World Health Organization 2025, mental health is a state of well being that helps people cope with stress, work effectively, and contribute to their community. However, many students experience stress due to academic pressure, social relationships, and school demands. Wilder 2023 stated that academic pressure is one of the biggest sources of stress among teenagers. Studies also show that mental health concerns among adolescents continue to increase. Despite these challenges, the school play an important role in supporting students' mental health. Kinsey et al. 2023 explained that a positive school atmosphere improves students' well-being. The school counselors also help students through academic and social support, according to SIC and Lizaula 2025. In addition, the Department of Education 2021 encourages schools to implement mental health awareness and intervention programs. The World Health Organization 2023 also emphasized the importance of creating safe, inclusive, and supportive school environment. So, with these concerns, our study aims to assess the mental health support services and needs at Santa Ines National High School. That leads us to our objectives, which is to provide to profile the mental health providers in terms of age, sex, bachelor's degree attained, highest educational attainment, license, years in service, and number of hours relevant training, and ratio of students and mental health professionals. B, to identify mental health services offered to students. C, to identify problems encountered by mental health professionals. And letter E, to profile junior high school students from the target school in terms of sex, grade level, level of anxiety, level of depression, level of stress, resilience, and well-being. And for letter F, to differentiate relationship the junior high school students per grade level in terms of their level of anxiety, level of depression, level of stress, resilience, and well-being.
And now moving forward to the part of methodology. This study used a quantitative, descriptive, comparative design to describe the school's mental health support services and assess students' level of depression, anxiety, stress, resilience, and psychological well-being. It also examined the differences in these mental health outcomes based on sex and grade level to identify important patterns and needs within the school setting. The independent variables were sex and grade level, while the dependent variables were the different mental health indicators. Overall, this design helped identify patterns, differences, and relationships related to students' mental health and support systems. The respondents of this study were junior high school students from grade 7 to 10 at Santa Ines National High School with a total population of 242 students distributed across grade levels, grade 7 with 76 students, grade 8 with 54, grade 9 with 58, and grade 10 with 54 students. Meanwhile, Slavin's formula was used to determine the sample size with a 5% margin error using the formula n equals n over 1 plus n e squared, where n is the sample size and n is the population and e is the margin of error. The computed sample size using Slovin's formula was 151 respondents. These respondents were proportionally distributed across grade levels with 47 from grade 7, 34 from grade 8, 36 from grade 9, and 34 from grade 10, ensuring balanced representation per group. This study used a standardized survey questionnaires to assess students' mental health conditions, resilience, and psychological well-being. This included the DUS-21, which measures depression, anxiety, and stress using a 4-point Likert scale, and the ROC-8, which assesses students' resilience and coping abilities, and RIF's psychological well-being scale, which evaluates well-being across 6 dimensions using a 6-point Likert scale. A predetermined questionnaire was used to gather information from the school's mental health provider regarding existing mental health services, programs, interventions, and challenges. To ensure validity, the instruments were reviewed by the research advisor and experts in psychology and education. Standardized and previously validated tools were also used to ensure the reliability and appropriateness of the measures. For the data gathering, permission was first secured from the school administration before data collection. Parental consent and student assent were then obtained, ensuring ethical compliance, confidentiality, and voluntary participation. Finally, questionnaires were distributed to grades 7 to 10, collected afterward, and then checked and prepared for data analysis. For the statistical treatment, frequency and percentage were used to describe the respondents' demographic profile in terms of grade level and sex. The percentage was computed using the formula percent equals F over N times 100, where F represents frequency and N represents the total number of students or respondents to determine the distribution of participants. The Kolmogorov-Smirnov test was then used to assess data normality, where a p-value greater than 0.05 indicates a normal distribution, while Levin's test was used to check homogeneity of variances, and since assumptions were violated across grade levels, Welch's ANOVA was applied, and meanwhile, the independent samples t-test was used to determine differences in variables according to sex. For the part of result and discussion, this chapter presents the results and discussion of the study based on data gathering from 151 respondents, and it includes the analysis of stress, anxiety, depression, as well as resiliency and psychological well-being indicators such as relationship, determination, vision, self-confidence, and organization. Overall, the findings provide insights into the student's psychological condition and areas needing support. The mental health provider in this study chose to remain anonymous. She is a 36-year-old female teacher at Santa Ynez National High School, a licensed professional teacher, and a graduate of Bachelor in Science in Information Management with a master's degree. She currently serves as the homeroom guidance in charge. Since the school has no dedicated mental health professional, she handles students' emotional and psychological concerns, focusing mainly on homeroom guidance and basic support services. This aligns with the Department of Education and World Health Organization, which emphasize teachers as frontline mental health support providers in schools. In terms of services, the school primarily offers homeroom guidance sessions that address emotional well-being, coping skills, self-awareness, and personal development. The provider also offers emotional support by listening to students' concerns related to academics, family, and personal issues. However, due to the lack of trained mental health professionals, services remain limited to basic psychological support or psychosocial support. This supports UNICEF and LOADS and Mastroiannopoulou, who emphasize teachers as primary support providers in schools. The study also identified several challenges. First is the heavy workload or high caseload of a single provider handling all mental health concerns. Second is the lack of resources and fundings, facilities, and trained personnel. Third is limited training and professional development opportunities such as seminars and workshops. And these findings are supported by the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and Mazur and Rickwood, who highlighted workforce shortage and role overload among school personnel providing mental health services. For the profile of the junior high school students in terms of sex, a total of 151 junior high school students participated in the study. Among the identifiable respondents, 48 were male and 52 were female, while 51 respondents were not identifiable due to the absence of a demographic question regarding sex. This limitation may have affected the completeness of the demographic profile. In terms of grade level, grade 7 had the highest number of respondents with 47 students or 31.13%, followed by grade 9 with 36 students or 23.84%. Grade 8 and 10 both had 34 respondents or 22.52%. The slight imbalance in distribution suggests that grade 7 students were more represented in the study. For anxiety, most respondents fell under the extremely severe category with 103 students, followed by moderate with 19 students and severe with 18 students. The findings revealed significant differences across grade levels, with higher anxiety observed among higher grade levels, particularly grade 10. In terms of depression, 67 students were classified under the normal category, 37 under mild, and 47 under moderate. No respondents were categorized under severe or extremely severe depression. However, significant differences across grade levels were still observed, suggesting that depressive symptoms tend to increase as students progress academically. For stress, most respondents were under the normal category with 132 respondents, while 14 students were classified under mild students or under mild stress and 5 under moderate stress. No severe or extremely severe stress cases were recorded. Although stress levels were generally manageable, mild and moderate cases indicate the need for continuous monitoring and support. The findings on resilience showed high levels across all indicators. Problem solving obtained at the highest percent with 88.08%, followed by vision, self-confidence, determination, interaction, and relationship. Organization obtained the lowest but still reflected a high level of resilience. No significant differences were found across grade levels, indicating stable coping abilities among students. For psychological well-being, most respondents showed high levels in autonomy, environmental mastery, positive relations, purpose in life, and self-acceptance. Purpose in life obtained the highest percentage. However, the personal growth showed lower results compared to the other dimensions. Despite this, no significant differences were found across grade levels, suggesting relatively stable well-being among students. To test the assumptions, the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test was used to assess normality, or the test of normality. All variables obtained p-values greater than 0.05, indicating that the data were normally distributed and suitable for parametric tests. Levin's test was then used to assess homogeneity of variances. Results showed unequal variances for depression, anxiety, stress, and resilience, while well-being met the assumption. Because of these violated assumptions, Welch one-way ANOVA was used. The independent samples t-test revealed no significant differences in depression, anxiety, stress, resilience, and well-being according to sex. This suggests that male and female students experience similar psychological conditions and well-being levels. Meanwhile, Welch ANOVA revealed significant differences in depression, anxiety, and stress across grade levels, with grade 10 students obtaining higher scores compared to grade 7 to 9. However, no significant differences were found in resilience and well-being. This finding suggests that the students in higher grade levels experience greater academic pressure and psychological distress. However, resilience and well-being remain stable, possibly because students share similar coping mechanisms and support systems. Overall, the study highlights the importance of strengthening school-based mental health programs, especially for students in higher grade levels.
That would be all. Thank you.